So I dropped my daughter off at school this morning, and I've been privileged to drive my daughter into school. It actually is one of the things that I um, tried to get out of this year, but the reality is it's such a good time to hang out with my daughter and talk to her before she goes into her day. But this morning, as I was dropping off, we have this drop off line with cars, and your position in the drop off line is determined by how quickly you arrive. And there's always something, traffic, and we have to drive a half an hour to get to her school. There's always something that gets in the way of our progress. And it's so frustrating to me to arrive and to see that nothing is moving. Nothing is the way that it should be. The person who's at the front of the line is the bottleneck. Everyone is stopped up behind them waiting for that person to move, but they're, you know, maybe not aware, not self-aware, maybe they're not aware of the time restrictions and the huge line of people behind them that they're um, stopping from moving on with their day. The biggest part is we have a very short window of time to get the kids out of the car and into the school to not be late. And my wife is a teacher in the same school, so this is complicated. The word gets back to my wife that I'm not getting my daughter to school on time. Now, it might be partially my fault by not getting her out the door on time, but what even amplifies the problem is that once we get there, there are more bottlenecks. And I'm a real uh, problem solver when it comes to roadways. I always think, man, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a better traffic pattern. There's got to be a better way to manage this flow. And it gets me thinking, where are we stuck in our own way? Where are we getting in our own way? Where are we the bottleneck to our own business growth? Where are we the ones that are thinking we're doing good, thinking we're leading in front of people, thinking we've got some things figured out, but really everyone's standing behind us, looking to us and saying, man, they're just a mess. They don't even know what they're doing. They're getting in our way of productivity. They're getting in our way of moving forward. Does your team stand behind you, waiting in line, saying, man, I just wish they would get out of the way? It's kind of a scary question because it feels like you're losing control if you hand things off. But in reality, you might be your worst enemy. You might be your own bottleneck, your own traffic pattern problem. So, is it time to evaluate that? Is it time for you to think about maybe there's some delegation that needs to happen? Maybe you've known that for a long time and you just haven't been able to figure out how to do it. And maybe you feel like there's not enough finances to back up moving yourself out of that position and that role. And sometimes it's a really hard leap to make those moves. But man, the relief when you get out of the way and the bottleneck starts to break loose and traffic starts to happen and things start moving forward instead of being stuck. What a great feeling that is to see things move. And when it's not moving, and when it's constipated, and when it's stuck in its place, it builds all this anxiety. It builds all this feeling of loss, this angst, or this feeling like you're not getting anywhere. So I want you to think about this today with me. Evaluate, are you the bottleneck? Are you in your own way? Are you stuck? Do you need help? There's got to be a better way. Find out today how to do that.